Hey guys, Mamie Carson here with OneJoyousSkip.com. Today we're going to be creating a coffee themed gift card holder, and I'm using the 'Tis the Season stamp set and the Funny Planner Sentiment stamp set by Sweet Stamp Shop, and this Funny Planner Sentiment one is from the new release. And we're going to start with some gray cardstock here, and it's going to measure 7 inches in length and 3 3/4 inches in width. And that's going to be the foundation for our gift card holder. And so what you're going to want to do after you have cut it all out is you're going to line it up and put a score line right down the middle. And then you're going to move over to the right by 1 inch and over to the left by 1 inch. And you're going to crease the middle part upwards so that you'll have a little flap sticking up inside of the card. And so I'm just kind of going back and forth, kind of like an accordion here, like an accordion fold. And I'm just making sure that my ends are lined up nicely. And so this is what I have here, this little flap in the middle. And you're going to take some super, super thin double-sided tape here. I got this really, really small one. I think it's like, gosh, I think it's smaller than 1/4 of an inch. I didn't really measure it, but it was just the thinnest I had in my stash. And so you want to take the thinnest that you have, or you can put maybe a tiny string of glue across the sides. You just want it to be extra thin because that way it won't impede on your gift card trying to get into the slot. So I just put that all the way around. I'm going to take off the backing now. Trim it off a little bit first. And this is super strong tape, so you're not going to have any worries of it coming apart. And you want to make sure that you keep your ends nice and even. And so this is basically the foundation of the gift card holder. Very, very simple. And next I'm going to take a piece of pattern paper. This is 6x6 paper. And I'm going to cut this down because this is going to be the panels for the inside of the gift card and the outside of the gift card holder. And so you're going to cut all of these panels down to 3.5 by 2 1/4. So I'm doing 2 of them in the colored cardstock here, the pattern cardstock. And then I'm going to do 2 in my Bristol cardstock because that is what I'm going to be using to do my stamping. So all of these panels are still the same size because they will be the same size on the inside and the outside whenever it's all the finished product. And I'm not great with measuring things. You guys know that I do not like to take the time to measure stuff. I just like to create. I'm not so big on the math part. And so it's taking me forever just to double check and triple check that I have all the right measurements here. I just don't have the patience for measuring, or I would be a big sewer because, I love sewing, but all the measuring just stresses me out. But anyway, so we're going to start our stamping now, and I'm going to use the little sentiment stamp from Funny Planner Sentiment Stamp Set. It says, "It's a coffee kind of day," and that's pretty much every day. So, I was thinking with this gift card holder, this is perfect for anybody that loves coffee, tea, baked goods. So that's basically everybody, right? So these 2 stamp sets go together really great to coordinate to make these gift card holders because I love to give these as gifts around Christmas because they're just perfect. Who doesn't love all the things that I mentioned? And it's always going to put a smile on somebody's face, and you're always going to get the right gift when you do it this way. So now I'm going to start stamping, and I'm pulling out some of my masking paper here. And I've had some people ask me what kind of masking paper this is, and it is Eclipse masking paper that I got on Amazon. And I always have questions about the supplies that I use. Please, if you're new to YouTube, ask as many questions as you want. You might not even know where to ask questions, but down in the description box, I always have all of the information that you'll need regarding the video. And then underneath that, you can leave a comment, and there's sometimes that people answer questions for you right there in the comments section. So just below the video, check out everything that's down there. Also, always make sure to hit like on my videos. That helps me know which videos you guys like the most. And always hit subscribe too if you haven't already. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys so much. We're going to make it a great year this year. I'm so excited. So much fun stuff going on. And who doesn't love Christmas time? And I haven't really gotten to do very many Christmas cards. So I've just been super busy right now. But I'm so excited I moved my craft room downstairs. And so now I have everything set up the way that I need it to be. And so now I can start crafting again. And I'm super, super excited about it. Okay, so back to what we're working on here. I stamped off onto the masking paper so that I could layer that masking paper on top of the images so that you can create a foreground and a background. And I've already talked about this before, but I have to assume with every video that there are people that have never seen one of these videos before. So I always like to reiterate all of the information. So if you already know about it, that's great. But there's always something new you can learn, or there's always something that, might be a little bit different from a time before that helps people move along in the card making world. So, I've got some of that. So I'm using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and it's beautiful, fantastic ink. However, it does take a little while to dry. So as you see, I'm stamping some stamps, and then I'm moving it to the side. Well, I'm letting them dry for a little bit before I do any masking because it might pull up some of that color, and I really don't want that. So I just set it aside to dry, or you can hit it with your heat tool. But don't be steered away by this ink because of the drying time, because it is fabulous ink and it can be used with all kinds of watercoloring mediums. So now I'm going to take my white gel pen and I'm going to fill in some of the little areas in the stamped images here just to add a little bit more detail. Because it is stamped on pattern paper, it's a little bit busy, so this kind of helps bring the focus back to the sentiment. So any new crafters out there, always make sure that you have a white gel pen. You will use it every day. So now I'm going to be moving on to the masking. Everything is nice and dry. And so I masked off that little coffee cup there so that I could put that donut, and the donut would show up behind the coffee cup. So that's what masking is essentially. And I'm going to do the same here. And this time I'm going to put a coffee cup behind this piece of pumpkin pie. And I don't know if I mentioned or not, I think, yes, I did. I am using Bristol Smooth cardstock because I am going to be using my Tombow markers that I love so much. So I'm excited to get to color with those right now. I've got everything here nice and dry and ready to color. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and lay down one of my panels on the back of the gift card holder so that I can just kind of make sure that it's the right size, because, they say to measure twice and cut once. That's like the carpenter rule, right? But for me, it's like I barely measure the first time, and then I just see if it works, and if it doesn't, then I just then I just leave it like it is. So anyway, now to create the little part where the gift card is going to slide into, I'm going to take a die that I have, and you can do this. You can just cut a little square out by hand. It doesn't really matter, as long as you have a slit in the top there so that your gift card can slide in. You can even just cut across the top with your scissors, and it would be just a nice straight line that your gift card could slide into. I saw this gift card holder, I saw Sandy Allnock do a gift card holder very similar to this one, and so if it's not broke, don't fix it. So Sandy Allnock gets the credit for this gift card holder. It's a fabulous design, and it's very sturdy, and it's beautiful, small, and it works out perfect. So definitely check out Sandy Allnock, because she has lots of great little things that you can do for Christmas time. And so now I'm putting on the front panel here. And this part looks good. The gift holder looks good. Everything looks like it's working out fine. So I'm moving on to the coloring part, which is fantastic. So I've got all my dual brush markers here, my Tombow markers, and I've got my water brushes all ready to go. And since I have all my water brushes filled up with water, I can't believe it. Now that I'm not closer to the sink per se with my office, my craft room office downstairs, but it's not as annoying to go fill them up down here for some reason. I don't know. I'm just a lot happier with my craft room being downstairs because I'm always downstairs. And I used to have it upstairs and it was like so far away. I don't know. I know it sounds super lazy, but for some reason I'm so over having a 2-story house. I would much rather have a 1-story house instead of having to climb up the stairs all the time. But anyway, so yeah, what is this? First world problems, right? Oh gosh. But yeah, I sound terrible. But really, any house is a great house to have. I just would prefer, having a 1-level house just because I don't like going up and down the stairs all the time. So now, very simple coloring. I'm just putting a line of the color marker here, and then I'm just filling it in with my water brush. I'm not doing anything fancy. The only thing that I am doing is putting my marker in the shaded area, the area that I want to be the darkest, and then I pull that color out towards the area that needs to be the lightest. And watercoloring is very forgiving. If you have an area that's too dark, you want a little bit more highlight, just run your water brush back over that area after you've cleaned off the color from your water brush, of course, and that will lighten it up for you a bit. You don't want to really abuse this Bristol smooth cardstock because it isn't necessarily watercolor paper, but it works really well with Bristol, with watercolor mediums, but you don't want to oversaturate it with water because it can pill up after a little bit too much abuse. So my coloring is going along pretty quickly, and these are, of course, pumpkin spice latte. The other one is a gingerbread latte, and I'm not really sure what kind of donut this is. I just knew that I needed to put some pumpkin spice in here because I haven't done any videos of that yet. I have never had a pumpkin spice latte, if you can believe that. I only drink decaf, and I try not to drink too much sugar either, and so I think that the pumpkin spice latte would definitely send me into a sugar coma. So I haven't gotten to try one, but I hear great things. I do like pumpkin pie though, so I assume it's similar. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so, I drink decaf for anybody that wants to know. I can't have caffeine anymore because it kind of gets me really super jittery and it gives me anxiety issues. So yeah, and I hate it because I love coffee so much. Anybody else out there drink only decaf, or what is your favorite coffee type flavored drink for this season? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, so I'm coloring in the donut here, just finishing off my coloring really since I'm not doing anything super fancy, but I did want to go in with my white gel pen. And when you do very simple coloring, adding a little bit of the white gel pen is fantastic. It really takes it to the next level. So I'm just going to add some white gel pen, but first I'm adding a little bit of shading here, and I just went under that with a light gray watercolor marker, and then I just pull that color out with my water brush. There isn't a light gray in those Tombow, the packs that I have. There's not a light gray, so I did have to use my Zig Clean Color Real Brush marker because there is a light gray in there, so I used that. And so now, like I said, I've got my white gel pen out, just adding little details everywhere to make the images shine. And I think this turned out really, really cute, very simple and really cute. I think you could just really mass produce this because it was so simple and took no time at all if you wanted to create a whole bunch of these. It's a great way to work on your coloring skills. Also, if you're a beginner making these tiny images, it's not too overwhelming. Also, lastly, here on the outside of the gift card holder, I'm going to add these little white, what are these called? It looks like white stitching. I can't remember. These little white dashes, I'm not really sure exactly what they're called, but they just add a little something extra to the front of the card there. So now I'm just looking at it, making sure it looks cute. And I'm going to add in the inside here, and I'm using some tape adhesive. And like I said, all the supplies I use are listed down below. And my head is always going to be in the camera because I'm really I can't really see anything. So if you want to count my gray hairs, you can let me know how many I have. Because my hairdresser let me know the other day. Like I didn't know I had gray hairs. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, so this is the card. It's totally finished off. The gift card holder, and I really loved it. And I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.